Awesome. All right, everybody, welcome to tonight's Keto OS call. We're super excited to have you guys on the line. I know there's hundreds of people on the call checking out what we're talking about. What is Keto OS? What is Prüvit? All those great things. So I'm really, really excited to be joined by the Prüvit CEO, Brian Underwood. And it's been an absolutely incredible journey. I'll tell you guys my story really quick. My husband and I live in Springfield, Missouri. We have two daughters. They're 14 and 10 years old. And we were introduced to keto back at the end of August. A friend called my husband and said, oh, my gosh, I have something that might help you. My husband had been on medical disability for 18 months. He's a captain for Delta Airlines. He had ruptured a disc in his back and was unable to fly for 18 months. He couldn't sit or stand for longer than 20 minutes. Really significant challenges with his back and inflammation and anxiety and those type of things. And we got our keto sample on August 31st, and my husband took it for 3 days, and he saw such a cool improvement. Not making medical claims, not diagnosing anyone's issues on the call, but to be able to see my husband have some incredible relief with his inflammation and to see him be able to return to work and just get his life back, it has been absolutely awesome. So we were really excited to partner with Prüvit and get to know Brian and his sweet wife, Nancy. So, Brian, I am super excited that you're on the call with us tonight. Did you have a good Christmas?
Hey, Natalie, how are you?
I'm good. Did you have a good Christmas?
I was on mute talking to you. Sorry about that. No, I had a great Christmas. It still looks like Christmas spewed up in our house. We haven't been able to clean up yet. And with 3 little kids, there's toys everywhere. But it was great. We really enjoyed family time and day to unplug and really get some reflection and perspective of everything that we're grateful for, and also really getting a lot of energy and excitement for 2016. So we had a great Christmas. How about yourself? I know that,
we had a great.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say we did have a great Christmas too.
That's awesome. No, I was going to say I know that over Christmas you hit. I think that you hit a lot of benchmarks in terms of yesterday. There was still a lot of promoters and customers you guys are bringing on. So I was curious if you were enjoying Christmas or you were working on Christmas.
What's the great thing is we totally had a data unplug yesterday as well. But the nice thing is when you get those text messages that say, congratulations, you have a new approver, it's hard not to look, but I try to do my best. Well, it's exciting, Brian, the generosity of the company and what you guys have done over this, these last couple days with this VIP promotion. And I mean, you guys just set us up to win. You guys gave us the tools that we needed. You gave us the promotion that we needed, because a lot of people can just have that, well, it's the holidays. We'll just get started in January. And you guys poured gasoline on people's fires, and we're super, super thankful for that. So let me start at the beginning. I've got a couple questions for you. So there are so many brand new provers on the line, maybe people that got started today as VIPs or in the last couple days. Tell us the story of Prüvit. How did this all come about? How did we get from, conception to where we are now? Give us kind of the timeline.
Well, I don't think people are going to want to be on the phone quite that long because it's quite an in-depth story. I think everything has a big backstory, but I'll try to cover the highlights for everyone because, as you said, Natalie, we're really excited, and I think that everything in life happens for a reason for all of us. Sometimes God puts things in front of us, and we're not sure why, but or a lot of us, we hit plateaus or we get frustrated with something, and I think sometimes you got to realize that on the other side, if you can just break through or you can keep moving forward, there's a lot of celebration or a lot of awareness or perspective. And so many people, I think, including myself, when you have ups and downs in business or in life, it's so hard to move forward. But I think that's really where the wealth is. And that's really, to me, why Prüvit got started. It didn't get started out of a huge success story. It really got started because about 3 years ago, we were looking to reinvent a company that I owned, a company called iZig. We're text marketing and mobile media company. We're still in business today. We do mostly mobile campaigns for Fortune 500, Global 2000 companies such as Monster Energy Drink, Palm Beach Tan Corporate. We have hundreds of Papa John's franchisees, Subway sandwich shops, and we have thousands of customers. It was a very, very successful model. However, it really turned into more of a business-to-business sales channel. And my passion has always been, people-to-people or network marketing. I know that a lot of people have different perspectives on network marketing depending on, an experience that they probably went through. If it was 20 years ago when I was talking on this call, we would probably be spending 75% of the call talking about what network marketing is or, what the peer-to-peer or person-to-person marketing is. But we're all familiar with it now. Whether we get paid for it or not, we are the number one marketing tool for the biggest companies in the world. And all of them are trying to figure out how to get into our influence, how to get into our social graphs, or how to get into our contact base so we can post something on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. And, it's amazing to really see those companies utilizing community and people to drive their brands. Most of them aren't really rewarding us for it, or they're not giving us a true dial-in on really the ripple effect that we create for them. And, when we were in iZig, we really wanted to touch more people. The thing that I got addicted to in network marketing was not just the ability to accelerate your income, not just the power of passive income once you get started or once you get something moving, but it was also the ability to build people. That's, to me, what network marketing was about. I think that there's so many people that have been touched by our industry. It's one of the best platforms in the world just for true social connecting and inspiration and giving people more belief in what they can do. And so as we were kind of plateauing as a company or turned more into a business-to-business sales channel, we actually started a concept to show people their ripple effect, utilizing technology and a technology platform. And to make a long story short, it looked like it was going to be one of the biggest wins of that year in business. I mean, we put 1.6 million people in our platform and our community in 60 days. We were on, TechCrunch, had all kinds of media that was becoming aware of what we were doing, including Silicon Valley. We had venture capitalists come and offer us, tens of millions of dollars to actually purchase the company before we ever even turned the technology on. And make a long story short, it's probably the biggest roller coaster ride of my life, or the biggest learning lesson. I don't believe it was a failure, even though we got way ahead of ourselves and we weren't able to execute. And so, it was a great learning lesson. But when that happens, you go through a lot, and we took a lot of arrows, and that's really where Prüvit was seated, because myself and a handful of entrepreneurs, when that was over, we said, look, we still believe in the model. There's something on the other side of this. We just got to keep moving forward. We got to figure it out. But the one thing that we really understood after that point in time, Natalie, and I know I'm getting a little long-winded, but we knew that we wanted to do something consumer-based from a consumer-based product standpoint, but we also wanted to do something better, right? We wanted to figure out how we could do something in network marketing better to where we could really reinvent people's stigma or perception. We wanted to build a brand, and we didn't want that brand to be limited just to the network marketing industry. We wanted to build a brand that we believed could bring value to other people and inspire other people. So the entire thought process was not about figuring out what product we were going to sell. The entire thought process was, developing a community that would inspire others to want to be better. And it really started, I say, with a T-shirt and a good friend of mine that, has really helped us develop this brand, Rob DeBoer. He was in my kitchen cooking protein pancakes of all things, and he had on this shirt that said, "Prüvit." And I said, "Tell me what that means. Tell me what that's about." And he said, "Well, it's an apparel line." He's like, "Man, we got to do this. It's just, to me, it has it." And I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, think about it. You say you want to lose weight, Brian. That's great. Prove it. You say you want to be a better dad. That's great. Prove it. You say you want to go out and run a marathon. Well, that's great. Prove it. And the only person you have to prove it to is yourself, right? So it's a me versus me concept or brand, because that's how you inspire other people. It's in the pursuit of greatness or in the pursuit of a worthwhile goal that you'll be the happiest, and it's in that pursuit when other people take notice of the things that they can do, and they will go for it as well. And so that's when we decided, okay, that's a cool thing. That's what we want to stand for. And we want apparel to be a big part of what we're doing, as you're going to see in 2016 us evolve that concept. But we really knew that we wanted to be in the consumable-based business, because innovation is really the thing that drives me. It lights my fire. I love studying innovation, innovators like Elon Musk. They just have this abundance mentality of saying, how can we do it better? How can we look into the blue ocean, and how can we strive to do things a little bit differently, do them right? Not stay in the red ocean where everything's at, but really try to stay in front of the conversation. And so as we started looking for a product, we knew it wanted to be consumable, because that is the blueprint for network marketing. That is the blueprint that is tried and true. If we could really, base this business around a consumable that could have an impact, but every time we turned around the corner, it was really, whether it was skincare or whether it was, shakes or nutrition, it was really the same products, just with a little bit different story or different packaging. And I think that's where the nutritional industry has been for over the last 20 years. And that's when we kept asking ourselves, there has to be more. And I believe the old adage, ask and you shall receive. We started really looking into this whole community of biohacking, right? Hacking into your body's own biochemistry to operate more efficiently and effectively, to be better, to optimize your internal body, right? So you can have better memory, better focus, better cognition. You can have better weight, better energy, better vitality, all of those things. And so that's when we started really looking into ketones, learning about a lot of Dr. Dominique D'Agostino's work, and along with some other doctors and individuals that, really have been, leading in introducing ketone technology to the marketplace, because ketone technology isn't something that's brand new. Ketones have been used for 100 years in medical treatments, right? They've been studied seriously for over 60 years. We were just one of the first companies that figured out a consumable product that the masses could afford and take. And I think once we saw what that was, we knew that we had something better. We knew we had a different conversation. We knew that we could literally turn people's ideas or thoughts on health and nutrition upside down, because the conversation was just so big. And I think that any time that you can bring value to other people, that's when you're truly an innovator. And bringing value to other people can be just teaching them a new concept, right? And so that's what we focused on, and that's what we're focused on going into 2016, is really helping people understand that your operating system, that's what your body is meant to use, glucose as fuel, which most of us burn, but there's a cleaner fuel that we can burn, and that's called ketones. And most of us never get to experience the true benefits of ketones. Most people, when they think of ketones, they don't even know what ketones are. They mostly associate with ketosis, which they associate with weight loss, which, yes, you can lose weight, and a great deal of it when you're in ketosis. Our product puts you into ketosis inside of 60 minutes. And so from a marketing perspective, I knew if we had something that could put someone in ketosis in 60 minutes, we could get 1 million people to buy it at least once. But Natalie, the real question was, can it do more? Because I've seen a lot of weight loss fads go up and down, and what we really want to do is create something that could be a long tail. And that was kind of Pandora's box. or that was the rabbit hole that I think a lot of the people that are on the telephone line now have jumped into. Because once you start learning about when your blood has ketones at a heightened level, amazing things happen. And, you shared your story of you and Corey, and, you guys have been in network marketing. This isn't just about network marketing, but I think it's very important for people to understand. You all had massive success. You had a lot of companies courting you and offering you deals, but the results from the product are what caught your attention and said, wait a minute, something's going on here. And, those results that you just shared, it wasn't about weight loss. Weight loss is a byproduct, but, that would marginalize really the benefits. This product truly optimizes the body. And so, that's the story behind it. I mean, we knew that we had our hands on something great, but great is a process. So we didn't know how the marketplace would respond until we started our private preview. And once this product got out on the market, it wasn't because of heavy-handed sales at all. It was truly because of the merits of the product. It started going viral, and it's continued ever since. So I know that was a longer story than I wanted to share with you, but, it really started through us going through some tribulations, and gaining an awareness that we wanted to do something that could sustain itself instead of just trying to innovate on technology. We wanted to look on how we could innovate into the consumable market. But the cool thing is that all of that technology that we developed 3 years ago, that we had that crash landing, we ended up spending 17 more months, a couple $1 million, finalizing that technology. And we're applying all of that technology, and we'll be implementing it all within the Prüvit ecosystem. So, sometimes life happens for us and not just to us. So that's great.
Yes, I love your story. I think probably everybody on the line, Brian, can resonate with the idea that out of great struggle sometimes comes the most brilliant ideas, or the right people come into the mix, or, that thing that you thought was for sure going to work out leads to something much, much, much better. So we're so thankful that you persevered and pushed on to something new. So one of the things you kind of hinted to, and I know I speak for a lot of people on the line, like one of the reasons why we personally chose Prüvit above all kinds of other companies and deals and offers and all that stuff is because we felt something different here. Can you talk for a second just on your philosophies on, building a community, how we set ourselves apart from, the masses, what the culture difference would be here? Anything to that question would be awesome.
Well, no, and again, if I get too long-winded, interrupt me, because I don't want to eat up everybody's time. I know people are still spending time with family through the holidays, and I love these questions because I love sharing what we're passionate about, and we truly are passionate about people. I think that you can attest to, along with a lot of others that are on the telephone line, that the ownership in the company and really the people that founded it, we're not ivory tower individuals. It doesn't make ivory tower people bad, but I consider myself just a piece of a bigger puzzle, and I think that we have this incredible technology. We have a lot of other technologies that are going to be coming down the pike that have come to us that we can be great stewards of if we do the right things. But I believe that the number one most important component of what we do is focusing in on collaboration. If we want to build a huge brand, collaboration is currency, right? To stay in front of what's taking place and to make sure that we can serve the community. And so, our focus really, is to put a great intention out there. But I think no matter what, we can't dictate a culture. The culture will be created organically by the people we attract, like yourself and like Michael Rutherford and Michael Beal and so many others that are on the telephone line. It's us as a team that creates the culture. We can always set an intention forth, but I see so many companies that it's almost, I don't want to call it manipulation in a bad way, but it's forced culture, right? Because it's forced to get something in return, and that's something that we don't want. We want to stay guarded of, and we're just following a blueprint to me, mentors and other companies that have done amazing things. I mean, some of my mentors that I look to, I mentioned one earlier, Elon Musk. This is an individual that, he developed PayPal, and then he took the fortune when he sold PayPal and invested it to start up $2 billion ideas and concepts, Tesla and SpaceX for space travel. And Tesla's gotten off the ground, and it has the top-rated car in the world right now that's on the road when people said he couldn't do it. And instead of him holding on to this technology that he had these patents on, he said, you know what, I'm not scarcity-minded. It's better for the planet. Everyone should build off of it. He opened them up for any car, company in the world to be able to build a better car. And, it's that philosophy of abundance that I think brings abundance to you. And, I think so many times, another book that I read, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, a friend of mine gave me, a mentor gave me, it was called The Blue Ocean Strategy. And the Blue Ocean Strategy was, not staying focused on where the competition is. Those waters are crowded. It has a bunch of sharks feeding off the same bait, and the water gets very muddy or bloody because they're fighting each other, right? And then instead, raise above the competition to separate yourself and go into the blue waters, and sometimes that's not it could be a little bit scary because, it's kind of like the whole pioneer, right, the road less traveled. But there's a whole philosophy behind Blue Ocean Strategy that we wanted to march behind, and we still do. That's what we have to keep each other accountable to. And, then you look at companies like, Nike or Lululemon, where Lululemon goes in and they truly develop community, or Nike, where Nike's focused on inspiring others to be great, right? No matter who you are, you have greatness inside of you. So push your limits. What is your it? That's the whole philosophy of our company. Everyone has dreams or goals. Have you forgotten them? Are you going after them? What is your it? And then to prove it means to demonstrate that it's real or to manifest it. So in the pursuit of proving it, you're going to inspire other people, and you're going to be able to tap into more of your own potential, right? And so, then you take a look at Lululemon. Lululemon developed a clothing company that really is so innovative. They don't go into a market and go into all these retail stores. They send an ambassador or a manager into a market to live for months or a couple weeks out of the month. And the only thing that person does is they go and they visit the yoga studios, the CrossFit studios, the aerobics classes at the local Y, and meet the influencers and the leaders in that community. And then they give them apparel. And then what do? They go back 3 or 4 months later and they start a showroom. And the showroom's only open maybe 2 days a week. The rest of the time, their employees are out spending time within the community, how they can bring value to the community. Because, see, today I believe that it has to be more than just the dollar. Yeah, we all want to make a lot of money, but I truly believe in the principle that if we can bring value to other people and to the world, our checks are going to reflect that. Your checks and the amount of wealth that you create, both financially and not financially, just in fulfillment, will come in direct proportion to the amount of value that you're bringing to other people. And so, again, I could talk about this for hours, but I think it's so important. So, we're wanting to do new and different things. We're wanting to innovate and wanting to keep that blueprint very fundamental and solid. But, some of the things that we're going to be launching in January are going to be where customers can earn free product by referring other customers, and also earn free trips, things of that nature. We're introducing our daily pay program, so our promoters, when they go promote the product or refer the product, they can get paid, daily. We're doing some really fun stuff moving forward into the new year. So, we're just wanting to innovate, but we do want to be all about people, because I believe that, that's going to be the difference in this being a $100 million a year company or a $900 million a year company. Is going to be based on the quality of leadership that not only we can attract, but more importantly, the quality of champions or leaders that we can build. And so, it's a fun community. And I think that it's not about the company. I think whenever you hear company and field, to me, that's already creating a divide. one cannot exist without the other. And so, what we're really wanting to focus on is this collaborative environment, so we can, challenge each other and make sure that we embrace the process of being great, but we can constantly iterate. Another great book is The Lean Startup. The Lean Startup is all about an MVP, a minimum viable product, get it out in the market, right, or a minimum viable platform. See how the market reacts, and then iterate based on the market conditions or based on your audience and what that audience is needing and wanting. And so, those are just some of the high-level philosophies, but those are the intentions that we're throwing out in the market and in our community. But our community's culture will be developed by you, the people that are on this telephone, and then we all have to be stewards of that. And so I think the most exciting thing about being with a company that's, just finishing its fourth full month in business is the fact that all of you can play as big of a role as you want. This will be whatever you want it to be. You're the Michelangelos. You have a big piece of clay in front of it, and we can sculpt that into anything that we want. The great news is that we don't have to debate whether this product is going to change people's lives. That's beyond discussion. It's beyond discussion if this is a financially viable vehicle. That's beyond discussion. That is evident. Now it's just how do we want to participate and at what level we want to participate with. And it doesn't mean everything is going to be peaches and roses because we are a startup brand. However, the infrastructure we have in place has done over $1 billion in sales. We have, I think, some of the best people in the world involved in this company, both behind the scenes and also out developing the community. But what that means is doesn't mean that challenges won't be put in place. It just means that we have a good enough team that's committed that we are going to get through any of those challenges, and we've been through a lot of them already. And so, to me, that's how championships are won. And so, we're just excited about 2016, and we're really excited about connecting with a lot of people at the Inspire event in January so we can do some of what you just said, and that is get to know each other. This is an intangible business. So the great thing about it is that when we come together and do these events, we get to know and get to feel and see.
That's awesome. I mean, that's like everything that you just said was the reason why we decided this is the place. This is where we want to be. These are the people that we want to build with. Switching gears here, let me ask you a couple questions about VIP. So, Brian, VIP ends tonight while I've been on this phone. So in the last, I don't know how many minutes, just a couple, 20 or so, we've got Cassie, Jen Chapman, Stephanie, Annie. They all went VIP while we were just on this call. So it's ending tonight. Anybody that's on the phone, Brian, that maybe is kind of on the fence, like, well, is it worth it? Should I do VIP? What's your take on VIP? Why is it important, and what would be the greatest benefit?
Well, I mean, to me, this is a collaborative conversation because, as we've really turned on our website for the first time September 1, and we went viral as soon as we did it. But before September 1, we had a private preview process that we gave everyone 5 invites. We started with a handful of people and told them, hey, go get some individuals to be a VIP with our company, buy the product, 100% money-back guarantee, because we wanted to get real stories, real experiences that we could share with the world when we turned our website on live. And obviously in September, it went faster than we anticipated. We got 14,000 orders behind. I want you to think about that for a second because of the market demand. And 14,000 orders behind. We knew we had limited inventory. We actually had to turn off our site after $100,000 a day in sales. We would hit that $100,000 a day within 30 minutes to 3 hours every single day in September. October, same type of thing kept happening. And the only difference was we caught up on those 14,000 orders. And we got about $20 million worth of inventory in the warehouse, which a lot of people online were able to come through Carrollton, Texas, where our labs are, and got to see all of the inventory. But through that process, what we want to do is reward people that we said were in during a very important period, and they were, very important people for us to get started, because getting started is sometimes the hardest thing in the world, but you can't get started by yourself, right? And so we rewarded those individuals with just some intangibles, and that is, it's the same thing as our Go Pack today, but the VIPs we started at rank 5, which gave them a little bit more of a financial edge, as well as we want to consider them, when we are doing testing on product in the future, or we might be coming out with a new flavor, we might want feedback and do internal studies. Our VIPs are the first ones that we're going to go to. And the reason why is those are the individuals that raise their hand up when some people might not have, right? Because most people deny something until it becomes evident. Then once it becomes evident, they have to accept it. Usually by the time people accept something, it's too late to take advantage of what they had in front of them in the first place, right? So, visionaries, or what we consider our VIPs, they see what isn't as if it were, because we've created this literally from square one. We are the pioneers of ketone technology in the marketplace. Since we started this conversation, there has been literally thousands of people trying to get into the space. I'm telling you, because we are making the space. We made a huge splash at the end of the summer, to the point where we've become the buzz of the entire nutritional industry. Forget about network marketing for a minute. The field that we're playing on is much, much bigger. And listen, that shouldn't scare anyone. Competition is what gives you the ability to be the best, right? But we knew the best model for this technology was through peer-to-peer, through person-to-person, because if they would have introduced this product in retail from day one, when you went into Whole Foods or GNC, you wouldn't have known what it was. And so those very important people, they got to realize that it's really everyone that's on this call, and it's just how we're going to celebrate going into the new year. And so, it's just our kind of way of paying homage. And, a lot of the individuals that are really responsible, like Lori Wyndham and Abigail and Michael and Mike, and there's so many others, Billy, there's so many other people that have just, really been huge contributors, like yourself and Micah. We wanted to give a lot of energy going into 2016 to give you the ability to prime the pump to hit the ground running. Not necessarily, if people decide to take this time of year off, that's great. I respect that 100%. But for me, this time of the year has always been about not only planning, but action in process. Because, if you want to start losing weight, you don't start January 1. Start now, so when you hit January 1, you already have momentum. And so, it was just it was something that was really brought to us by a lot of the individuals pioneering or setting the pace in the company. And so when they come to you and say, hey, we want this, we want this, we want this, you can't say no, 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 and say, okay, well, if everybody's on board, we're on board too. Let's go do it. And so so that's why we did it. I know that was a long-winded answer, but we're excited. Listen, we are pioneering a really big conversation, and our philosophy is very simple, right? It's just following the 4 T's. Is if we can do this a little bit different, don't be heavy-handed sales. Just focus on teaching people something that they might not know, like fat is fuel. Ketones are a cleaner fuel than glucose. People don't even know what ketones are. So if you can teach people something new, you're giving them value that will listen to you. The second thing is once you teach them something, you have to be willing to take the lead. Once you take the lead, you can direct them or tell them where they should go, what they should do next, right? Go to our site, go to our Facebook page, scroll through it, look at the thousands of stories already, and the company's only 4 months young. That's social validation at the highest level. And then number 3 is, number 2 would be tailor the conversation to that person, because this conversation has something to meet everyone's needs. I don't care if you're a baby boomer. I don't care if you're a contact sport, you're an athlete, if you're someone obese looking to lose weight. This conversation is for you. Know your audience and make sure that you bring that audience value. So teach, tailor the conversation to meet their needs. Then number 3 would be take the lead, show them what's next. And then number 4, train them on what we do. And if you can focus on those 4 things, I think that the financial model is obvious. You're going to have a huge 2016. I think there's a lot of people on the phone that this is going to be the biggest financial year of their life. And I think that's a great testament to the timing of where we're at. So take advantage of it and understand, like, if you're on this call right now, you can enroll as a promoter for free in our program. I want you to think about this for a minute. You can go enroll 3 people and make $540 when they buy a VIP pack. And then if they get a 4th one, you make $720, right? But here's the amazing thing is, if you're really wanting to develop a community and help that person, if you help that person become an MVP by getting 4 customers and 4 promoters, just a little bit of work, between now and February, you're going to make an extra $500. So literally, if you can go out and get 3 or 4 people and develop them to be an MVP by February 1st, that's $3,000 or $4,000 sitting on the table for you in commissions. And if someone wanted, I wouldn't recommend it, but someone could enroll for free and not even buy the product and do it. Now, I don't think that they could be as successful as someone that did purchase the product, but my point is, we're not looking for people's money. We're looking for results, right? That's why we don't charge anybody to be a promoter within our program. So it's great timing where we're at. So that's why we ran the VIP program.
The VIP is awesome. It has, like I said at the beginning, the call put gasoline on the fire that was already going. So you guys know that the VIP promo ends tonight, midnight Central Standard Time. So we got, let's see, about 4.5 more hours if you've got people that are on the fence for enrolling at VIP. Maybe the replay of this call or a replay of a call earlier in the day would be a perfect chance to give them that opportunity. If you guys need some lingo, one of my favorite things to tell people, because you certainly don't want to pressure people. You're offering them a great gift. If they choose not to take it, it's totally fine. So one of the things that I say is, hey, look, it doesn't matter to me whether you get started or not, but if you are going to get started, now's the time, and then show them all those great VIP benefits. So it's not about you getting the sale or really, you talking them into doing something they don't want to do. You're just saying, like, hey, I don't want you to miss out, because when you call me tomorrow or the next day or next week and you say, hey, I'm ready, I want to do that VIP thing, it's gone, right? So just some lingo for you guys there. And then lastly, Brian, before we cut the call, and if you're just a guest on the call or you're a customer, we are super excited that you tuned in and you got to get to know our CEO a little bit. But we have a really exciting event coming up in none other than Las Vegas, so I can only imagine how fun it's going to be. It is the Inspire event. Brian, I'm super excited. Just having been in this space for several years, my favorite thing about this business, and we've had some incredible experiences, but my very favorite thing about this business is the events, because I get to go and I get to meet people face to face, maybe people that you've seen on the calls, or you're in the team thread, or you're on a Facebook group, and suddenly it's like people that you would have never known. They become like family to you. Like I was just telling somebody the other day, my greatest blessing in network marketing is friends that become family. You could literally drop me in any state in the U.S. and a lot of places overseas and say, okay, you don't have any money, Natalie. All you have is a cell phone. Like, good luck. And I could call somebody in every single state and say, hey, will you come pick me up? And they'd say, yes, we love you. What are you doing here? Because that's what network marketing does. It expands your friendship. So give us a little, what can people expect from the Inspire event?
Oh, no. Well, I'll keep this one short. But, no, I mean, there's always surprises. Here's the one thing I will say, and sometimes it frustrates people, sometimes it doesn't, but we are definitely outcome-oriented organization. And every event is different that we've ever done. And the reason why is because I believe that the greatest part of the event is the audience that attends, because they really steer and direct the event, because there's a ton of audience participation and audience direction. Yes, we have an outline. We'll have special guest speakers there, that doctors that will be helping educate on ketone technology and about the product. We are going to be making some announcements at this event.
Ooh.
And I had Yeah, and I had a mentor a long time ago teach me one simple lesson. He said, look, if you really want to be successful in life, he said, there's one thing that if you learn this and you abide by it and it becomes your discipline, it's the only discipline you have, he said, you will be successful beyond your wildest dreams. And remember, success without fulfillment is failure, right? So you have to have a little of both to be truly successful or happy. And I said, well, what is it? And he said, well, listen, 90% of life is just showing up. It's just showing up. And amazing things happen when you show up. So I will tell you this, that the people that show up, our goal is to always give more than we take, and to give as much value as possible. So the ones that show up will be definitely pleased. I always say if they're not, I'll pay for anyone's time or price of admission when they're there. We're just confident that it will be an amazing event. So the lineup's going to be Friday night. We're going to get started. Saturday will be an all-day event from, I think, 10 a.m. to probably 8 or 9. And then Sunday we'll go for a half a day. I think it'll be over between 3 and 4 on Sunday. And so we have we have so many guest speakers that want to come speak at this event. We have to limit it, and we're going to have to tell some of them no. And some of these speakers have been paid $10,000, $20,000 to come speak at different symposiums in the past. And, the word and the buzz is definitely getting out. So, we really, I know this might sound cliche, people might have heard it, but we want to make sure it's just an experience of fun, that we, connect with each other, that we educate, we empower, and we have some entertainment as well. And so, it's a success if we can get all those three. And, we have just a lot of great leaders I can't wait spending more time with. And if you're real lucky, you can help us load the trucks in the back. Jared can, from Houston, can tell you guys a little bit about that. But, hey, he got a lot of keto cream for doing it too. And get to spend time with Mitch, who introduced us to you, who's doing some amazing things. And, it's going to be a lot of fun. So I would definitely get there, and we're going to have fun in Vegas. So Green Valley Ranch, if you haven't been, is beautiful. And for a lot of you that are just getting started, this is the best way to get started. I'm just telling you, right now, to me, it's about, focusing on putting a blitz together between now and the 22nd of January and show up. And for some of you, you'll get a sneak peek at a really big tent of where we're going in the future. So it's going to be a lot of fun, for sure.
I love it. Well, I would suspect that you're going to see dozens, if not 100 people out by the truck volunteering for keto cream with signs, "We'll work for cream." That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I might have to get Michael and Dustin Schaefer went down to Florida, and their event was so successful, they even got you to take a last-minute flight down there. But heck, we might just replicate what they did. I know they had an amazing event. So, it's going to be a lot of fun. And listen, show up. If anyone has any questions at all, get back with the person that put you on the phone call. Get with Natalie or any of the promoters on the call. But we really are excited, Natalie, and we have a lot of great things going. We never embrace success, and this might not be for you. It's not for everybody, especially being with a company that's so young. We're still growing into our shoes, so to speak. And, but for those that love I think the energy and the adrenaline of building something great, I think that going to great is the most fun, but it's a process. But through that process is where people can multiply and magnify their income. And so I will say this. I believe that from a timing perspective, what someone can accomplish in the next 90 days or in the next 6 months, it'll take everyone else twice as long to achieve the same amount of productivity with all the variables equal. So you have timing on your side, and, we're excited about it. And if there's anything that we can do, answer any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I will close the call with this. I want you to think about this. This is probably the most rewarding thing for me. And, definitely in 2015. But, we started this little company, and we didn't know if what the marketplace is going to say. And if you truly believe that you get rewarded in direct proportion to the value you bring to the world, it's an unwritten law that I've adopted from people I've learned from. But last week, we paid out, last week alone, right at $700,000 in commissions. Now, to me, that's telling me that there's a lot of people that are having incredible experiences and incredible success with our program. I'm not saying that to impress anyone. Well, I kind of am, because it impressed me that this little 3.5-month little company is already paying that much money out to hundreds and thousands of people. And that's something I'm very, very proud of. We can get there great together, but that's we're all in it together, and it's a great start. We have a lot of things planned in the future, so don't miss it, and I look forward to seeing everyone in Vegas.
Yes. Well, Brian, thank you so much for taking the time out from your family to jump on the call tonight. You've given us so many cool things to think about, such great perspective and philosophies on loving people and building a business that will stand the test of time and learning from our mistakes and all kinds of great stuff. So you guys, to wrap up the call, don't forget the VIP promotion ends tonight at midnight Central Standard Time. So you'll have until then to enter those into the computer. So we are also going to do one more thing. I got a bunch of text messages. I know there's guests on this call who are now excited about going VIP, and they've got a couple of people that they would like to introduce to Keto tonight before this remote ends. So we're going to do one more. We're going to do one more call tonight. It's going to be at 10:30 Eastern. So if you look at your watch, it's about it's in less than an hour, right? At 10:30 Eastern, we're going to do another call. It's going to be a short and sweet 10-minute call with Michael Rutherford on the benefits of Keto OS and the VIP pack. So it's going to be on the same line. So if you dialed into this one, you're going to give that number to your friend or just redial in to hear some more. But, Brian, thank you so much. We are super honored that you were on the call with us. We learned a lot. We're thankful for you, and we can't wait to see everybody in Vegas. This call is officially a wrap.